The all-new QI irons from TaylorMade, designed for straight distance.
Don, thanks for joining us inside the ropes, fresh off a plane from Raleigh, North Carolina to right back here to work in Winnipeg. Tell me about the 124th U.S. Open on the course.
Well, I was honored to be asked to be a referee at the 124th U.S. Open, 1000th championship conducted by the United States Golf Association. And it was an incredible experience, and just to be involved in an event of that caliber and with the people that I was working with was a real privilege.
You've been involved in these events before. Can you compare what 2024 was like for you?
I've been at 2 U.S. Senior Men's Opens. This, of course, is on a massive scale. Of course, you have the best players in the world, best male players. You have a very difficult golf course in Pinehurst number 2,
yeah.
And just the crowds and everything about it is on a much larger scale, but just quite the event.
What was it like to be on the course? As you allude to, the greatest players in the world are there, and obviously 250,000 people as well that wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah, well, as a referee, you're there to ensure that the player is protected and the field is protected. So you were there to offer assistance, and whether that's on a ruling, whether it's where a drop is from a temporary removable obstruction, or grandstands, shot link towers, TV towers, of course. So you assist with that, and of course answering any rules issues that come up.
Can you share some stories that
Sure.
may have happened on the course?
Yeah, so the funniest one would be the fire ant story. Player, on round 1, I was in the drive zone on the 8th fairway. Player hits his ball into a clump of wiregrass, and it calls me over. And wiregrass, you play it as it lies. I didn't know what he was going to ask me about, but he pointed to ants scurrying about on the ground, and he said, "Those are fire ants." And under Rule 16.2, fire ants are considered a dangerous animal. They are very aggressive. They attack. They're in the same category as bears, alligators, venomous snakes. So he would get relief if these were fire ants. But in any referee situation, preparation is your friend. The day before, we had gone over questions like fire ants, and Pinehurst had felt they had addressed any fire ant issues. So yeah. I was quite confident that these were not fire ants, and they weren't displaying aggressive tendencies. So I denied the player relief. He says, "Look, they're red." I said, "Well, I don't think that's determinative of whether they're fire ants, but if you want, we'll get a second opinion." So called the PGA Tour rules official rover, Clay Neely, to come over. The rovers deal with the players every week, so they have a confidence level with them that they may not have with me, for instance. He comes over.
The one of 2 Canadians.
The one of 2 Canadians. So Clay comes over, he looks at it, he says, "Those aren't fire ants." And the player disagreed. So Clay goes and he puts his hand right in the anthill, and the ants did not swarm and attack his hand. Yeah. So he had a high level of confidence they were not fire ants, and that ended the debate. So the player played.
Where were you at the end? Obviously, we were all watching, and Bryson DeChambeau was able to pull it out.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was on the 9th hole, which is par 3 in the morning. I only worked the morning shift, and then the crowds were so massive, I went to the hospitality area and watched it on TV with a bunch of other people. That was the best place to see the action. So yeah, just an incredible finish. Those greens were so fast, so difficult to play. It's just, you're seeing, as you say, the best players in the world, and they were challenged.
What was the electricity like at the venue? We watch it on television, and then the place went crazy, and obviously you're right there.
Yeah, you know what? It builds right from the beginning. You have spectators before, 2 hours before play starts, just wandering around, taking in the atmosphere. And as referees, we get to our hole well in advance of the players. We've got a whole description that really outlines all of the potential issues, whether it's either side relief for temporary movable obstructions, those types of things. We commit those to memory and are ready and able to give a ruling or direction. You don't want to be flipping through a book or papers. So anyway, but it's just amazing seeing all the fans out there, and then when the players get out, you hear the roars. I was on 14 on Friday when Molinari got his hole in one on the very last hole to make the cut on the number.
Yes.
And you would not believe the sound that came from that. So just very exciting seeing Tiger Woods with the fans following. Where Tiger is on the golf course. It seems like half the spectators are following that group. So it's just a very humbling experience to be part of something of that magnitude. The USGA kindly invites referees from national associations. So Canada was represented, as was Japan, Australia, Peru, Mexico, and just to speak with them and spend time with them, understand what happens in their countries with golf was very special.
Well, a neat experience, and we thank you for literally getting right off the plane and coming down to visit with us. And now we'll look forward to more Golf Manitoba events this summer.
Absolutely. I love our Golf Manitoba events. I'm really looking forward to it. We got such great players and such great events. So I'll be seeing everyone out on the golf course.
Without red ants.
Without red ants. I hope I didn't bring any home with me.
Thanks, Don.
Thanks, Brian.